Namaste students, I am Dr. Komal Rathod, Assistant Professor at Department of Kamar Bhratya, Faculty of Ayurvedic Science at Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University, Jaipur, Rajasthan. So students, today's session we will discuss about brief discussion of Sahajvadya according to congenital disorders. So in this session, first of all, we start Sahaj Hridaya Vikar means congenital heart disease. CHD. So first of all, what is CHD? CHD is congenital heart disease occur in 8 per thousands birth. Most cases of congenital heart disease are multifactorial. Some lesions associate with chromosomal disorders, single gene defect, teratogens, and maternal metabolic disease. Congenital heart diseases can be divided into 3 broad pathological groups. So, 3 broad pathological group is, first is left to right shunting, and second is right to left shunting, and third is obstructive stenotic lesions. So, these 3 types of pathophysiological groups. So first is left to right shunting. It's including VSD. So VSD is ventricular septal defect. Ventricular septal defect is most common congenital cardiac lesions. Shunting of oxygen blood from left to right ventricle. That is VSD, ventricular septal defect. Second is ASD. ASD is arterial septal defect. So arterial septal defect is abnormal communication between two atrium. VSD is abnormal communication with two ventricles. So as his name, atrial septal defect is abnormal communication between two groups and leaking of oxygenated blood from left to right atrium. Two types, ostium primum and ostium secundum. Third is PDA. So what is PDA? PDA is patent ductus arteriosus. So patent ductus arteriosus is communication between pulmonary artery and aorta. Pulmonary artery and aorta communication between. So the duct arteriosus is present in fetal life. It closes functionally and anatomically soon after birth. So persistent of ductus arteriosus is called PDA. Persistence of ductus arteriosus is called patent ductus arteriosus. Left to right shunting from aorta to pulmonary artery. Now second group is right to left shunting. Right to left shunting is called cyanotic heart disease. First is teratology of Fallot. So what is teratology of Fallot? Is the 4 constituent of teratology as described originally by Fallot. Consist of VSD, ventricle septal defect. Second is pulmonary stenosis. Third is overriding aorta. Fourth is right ventricular hypertrophy. Right ventricular hypertrophy is that on physical examination, cyanosis and clubbing. Cyanosis and clubbing. Clubbing is that 2 fingernails adjoining that round shape make curve. So on physical examination, cyanosis and clubbing are present. Second is tricuspid atresia. Tricuspid atresia means congenital absence of tricuspid wall. Congenital absence of tricuspid wall. The right ventricle is underdeveloped and the inflow portion is absent. So that is tricuspid atresia. Because as we know as name, tricuspid atresia. Third is Epstein anomaly. Epstein anomaly is abnormality of tricuspid valve. The tricuspid valve anomaly results in obstruction of forward flow of blood as well as regurgitation of blood from right ventricle to left ventricle. That is Epstein anomaly. And the fourth is transposition of greater vessels. Transposition of greater vessels means aorta arising from right ventricle and pulmonary artery from left ventricle. So the transposition of great vessels is aorta arising from right ventricle and pulmonary artery from left ventricle. So obstruction stenosis lesion is that obstructive stenic lesions means aortic stenosis, pulmonary stenosis, or coaction of aorta. So aortic stenosis is, it means obstruction of blood flow across the aortic valve. Pulmonary stenosis is obstruction of blood flow from right ventricle of the heart to the pulmonary artery. In between obstruction. And coaction of aorta is aortic narrowing. If aorta is narrow, then stenosis occur. So that's all about brief introduction in congenital heart disease. So congenital heart disease is 3 types: left to right shunting and right to left shunting, and then at last obstructive stenic lesion. Now Jal Shirshak. Jal Shirshak means hydrocephalus. So what is hydrocephalus? As we know as definitions. So definition is that dilation of ventricles. Dilation of ventricles leading to a large head circumference causes by impaired circulation or absorption of CSF or increased production of choroid plexus. The CSF secreted at the choroid plexus within the ventricle by ultrafiltration and active secretion. It passes from the lateral ventricle to the third ventricle, fourth ventricle, and then to the basic cisternae, and then reaches the cerebral and spinal subarachnoid space. There is the absorption via the arachnoid villi into the venous channel and sinus. Now types is communicating and non-communicating. So there is no blockage from an imbalance between the ventricular system, the basal cisternae, and the spine subarachnoid space, that is communicating. And non-communicating is that the block is at any level of ventricular system, commonly at the level of adequate or foramen of Luschka and Magendie. So that is non-communicating hydrocephalus. Next is congenital. Congenital is intrauterine infection. Intrauterine infection is torch infection. Intracranial hemorrhages. Congenital malformation. Congenital malformation is aqueductal stenosis, Dandy-Walker syndrome, posterior fossa cyst continuous with fourth ventricle, Arnold-Chiari syndrome, portion of cerebellum and brain system herniation into cervical spinal canal and blockage the flow of CSF to the posterior fossa. Now acquired is tuberculosis, chronic and pyogenic meningitis, post-intraventricular hemorrhages, and third is tumor. Now what is the clinical features? So clinical feature is that enlarged head size, delayed closure of frontals and sutures, forehead is prominent, scalp when become prominent and dilated, sunset sign, I will told you later. I told you before, sunset sign positive in hydrocephalus. So sunset sign, what is sunset sign? Sclera above the cornea is visible. That's called sunset sign. Now Meswin and cracked port sign is positive. Cracked port sign is positive. Then increased tone of limbs may be detected due to compression of white matter. Increased tone of limb may be detected. Feature of the increased intracranial pressure is that papilledema, bradycardia, vomiting, headache, and irritability. Now, how can we diagnose the hydrocephalus? So first, we can diagnose it USG and CT scan. Its differential diagnosis is from megaencephaly, rickets, hemolytic anemia, and familial history. Now modern management is acetazolamide 50 mg per kg per day, and it is for decrease ICF, intracranial pressure. Then ventriculoperitoneal shunt and ventriculoarterial shunt. Shunting is very necessary from surgery. And in Ayurveda, Rasayan Churan, like Rasayan Churan prepared with Guluchi, Gokshur and Amalki, it's used with honey, Punarnavadi Kwat and Punarnavashta Kwat. In condition of spasticity, Abhyang with Narayan Tel and Shankar Swed in the form of Shashti Shalik Pinda Sweda should be applied. Now next is Khand Oshta. Khand Oshta means cleft lip and Khand Talu means cleft palate. So definition is, a cleft is the fissure or opening, a gap. It is non-fusion of the body natural structure that form from birth, before birth. A cleft lip or palate is due to hypoplasia of mesenchymal tissue. Hypoplasia of mesenchymal tissue with subsequent failure of fusion. If fusion failure, then cleft lip may be developed. So etiology is environmental factors like drug, phentoin and valproic acid, methanol, alcohol, and tobacco uses, contact with herbicides. A strong genetic component. Cleft lip is due to failure of fusion of maxillary and median nasal process. Cleft palate is due to failure of fusion of lateral palatine process, the nasal septum, and median palatal process. So clinical feature is cleft lip can be associated with cleft palate and defect of the alveolar ridge and dentition. Speech and swallowing difficulty may be present. So management is significant problem. Manage with squeeze, bottle feeding, and special nipple. Surgery closure, the cleft lip is usually done by 3 months, and closure of palate is usually before 1 year of age. According to Ayurveda, tatra khandoshta ityukte vaten oshto dvidha krata. Dosh vat that restrict normal development of lip. So management is surgery. Now next is imperforated anus. So imperforated anus or anorectal malformation is birth defect in which the rectum is malformated. Etiology unknown, and 8% of patient having genetic factor clearly associate. Now clinical feature is low lesion and high lesion. Low lesion form in colon remaining close of the skin, and high lesions colon remain higher up to the pelvis. Investigation USG and treatment is surgery. And next is Talipes equinovarus. Talipes equinovarus is congenital deformity involve 1 or 2 foot. The affected foot appears to have been rotated internally at the ankle. Talipes means talus, pes matlab means foot. So talipes means ankle or foot. Equino indicates the heel elevated and varus indicated turn inward. So what is the difference? What is the name elaboration is talus, pus. Talus matlab ankle and pus means foot. Equino means heel, elevated, varus means turn inward. So occur commonly in male in birth of 50% of cases. The deformity is involving malignant and calcaneotellar navicular complex. It is the hindfoot deformity. There the plantar flexion and adduction of the forefoot, midfoot, or on the hindfoot. The hindfoot is in varus and equinus. So clinical feature is forefoot cavus and adduct, and hindfoot varus and equinus. Forefoot and hindfoot. So diagnosis is anterior, posterior, and lateral radiograph are recommended. And management is strapping, manipulation, and surgery. Next is spina bifida. Spina bifida is congenital defect of vertebral column in which lamina of L5 and S1 fails to develop normally and until the midline. So types of spina bifida occulta, spina bifida cystica, spina bifida cystica is several types of spina bifida involve protrusion of meninges and spinal cord through the lamina. Several types of spinal bifida involves protrusion of the meninges and spinal cord through the lamines and are collectively termed spina bifida. Cystica because of presence of cyst like sac protruding from the backbone. If the sac containing the meninges is the spinal cord and cerebrospinal fluid, the condition is called meningocele. If the sac contains spinal cord or its nerve roots, the condition is called spina bifida with meningomyocele. If the sac contains meninges and spinal cord and cerebral fluid, that's called meningocele, and it's only contain spinal cord or its nerve root, not involve CSF, that's called meningomyocele. So clinical feature is that a large cyst and the number of neural structure contain the more serious neurological problem. In severe cases, there may be partial or complete paralysis, partial or complete loss of urinary bladder, bowel control, and absence of reflexes. The increased risk of spina bifida is associated with low level of vitamin B12 called folic acid during pregnancy, and spina bifida may be diagnosed parentally at the test of the mother blood for substance produced by the fetus called alpha fetoprotein by sonography or by amniocentesis. So management is surgery. So that's all for this session. Hope you liked that session and it is very informative for you. So that's all for this session. If you have any query, ask me in next session. I will definitely resolve the problem. So that's all. Thank you. Thank you so much.